Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He was. Hey guys, what's cracking? Welcome. This is singing tips number 16. This one's called range. Okay, so getting right into it. What is range? Range is defined as the amount of notes that a person can sing. So there you have it. It's real simple. And what I mean by that, to expand upon it, is that think of the notes that you sing like a spectrum of a keyboard, and with that you've got one end of the scale and you've got the other end of the scale, and everything that you can sing in between to those 2 points, that is what's considered your range. So there you go. It's pretty easy to figure that out. If you have any other questions about that, I have a lesson in the box here, and it talks about like different parts of range. I'll have a link in the description box below as to which exact lesson that is. Okay guys? Cool. So now, like I was getting into last lesson, I was saying that there's different parts of range for males and there's different parts for females. So what I mean is I'll break it up with females and males. So I'll do females first. So females, you have alto, which is a lower range, and then you have soprano, which is the higher of the female ranges. And then you have the male ranges, which the lower ranges, you have bass or bass baritone. You'll hear it be called both. And then above that you have tenor. Tenor is the higher of the male voices, bass is the lower of the male voices. So basically it goes, we'll just do it from like guys to girls. It would go like this. It would go bass, baritone, tenor, then to girls, alto, soprano. And there you have it. Now there's also a key point here, and it's that there's 2 different voices for each particular range. So you'll hear people say tenor 2, or you'll hear people say, oh, he sings bass 1, or you'll hear people say, oh, that girl sings alto 2. What they mean by that is that certain notes in that person's range they can sing, and certain notes they can't necessarily sing. And you're going to hear it defined as 2 and 1. And 2 is the lower. So an example would be alto 2 would be the lower one. Alto 1 would be the higher one. So every one of those has a 2 and a 1 too. So to really expand upon the whole range thing, it might sound complicated, but I really assure you guys it's really quite simple. But so it would sound and it would look like this. We'll just kind of do it like if you were to draw it out like as a diagram or something, like at home or whatever, it would look like this. So you'd go bass 2, bass 1 baritone, tenor 2, tenor 1, alto 2, alto 1, soprano 2, soprano 1. That's it. Those are all the different categories of range that a person can sing in. So the idea is that you want to try to increase your range. Well, I think that your idea would be you'd want to increase range, because that was definitely my idea when I was taking private voice back in high school. God, that was over 11 years ago. It's hard for me to even believe that. But that would be what you want to really try and shoot for, is those different types of ranges. And so how do you increase my range? Well, the very big and obvious one is practice. Practice, practice, practice. I don't mean to get mean. I'm just being a smart ass. Yeah, practice is the big one. Practice is the big key point. Along with that, though, I talked about in another one of my previous lessons right here. Again, I'll find out which one it is and link it again in the description box. I talk about pushing, not pulling. Because don't push, but pull. When you're landing on top of these notes, you want to pretend like you're pulling from the note and not reaching up and trying to push towards the note, because that's the wrong premises entirely. Okay, guys? Now, with range, what I found that's worked for me, and it's worked for lots of other countless singers, not just myself, but I've seen that my vocal teachers have done it, and I've seen other friends who've had vocal teachers and they've done the same exact thing, is to shoot for a target as far as your range goes. So if you know that you can sing a middle C on a piano and you want to shoot for an F, then you know that you've got some work to do. So start looking for music where F is the note that they use, not constantly, but F is the note that they hit with certain things like that, and that's what you want to start shooting for. Once you hit that target, moving on to the next part, after you achieve it, you want to set yourself a new target. So it'll probably be better if I kind of visualize it. So middle C is this. Ah, I think. Let's see here. Ah, my bad. Ah. So you're at C and you want to hit D, E, F. You want to hit F. So you're going to look for music where they're like la 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 la, right? Because you want to hit that F. And then when you hit the F, you're going to want to look for something higher. So you got C, D, E, F, G, A. So then you're going to look for music where it's like la 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 la. You see what I'm saying? I'm making up la 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 la's because I'm trying to get my point across, because it's a visual, it's an audio thing really. You have to understand that with range, you're trying to shoot for a higher sound, a higher pitch. Now remember, not tone. We talked about tone in the last lesson. This is not tone. This is something different. This is range. So there you have it. Now, when increasing your range, what can it do for you as a singer? Well, one of the things it can do is it can show you off. I mean, when I first started singing, I was only able to sing about, I don't know, like maybe 10, 12 notes total. And after I took private voice for about, I think, 2.5, 3 years, I was able to sing about a 3-octave range, which is pretty impressive, because that means that basically I could now sing, instead of just 8 notes, I could sing 24 notes. So you get the idea. And that's because, again, though, guys, I practiced. I gave myself targets. I had a really great vocal teacher who also gave me targets. And again, I didn't strain the voice. I didn't push. I pulled to get on top of those notes. I visualized myself landing on top of those notes. Again, I will put that description for that particular lesson in the description box below, okay? And if you guys have any other questions about that, go ahead and leave me one in the comment section below as well. All right. Now, along with that, what can you do with a good range? Well, you can sing a greater variety of music, for one, because you have more ideas and stuff that you can pull from. I hope that makes sense. So like okay, perfect example. A lot of Broadway for males is really in tenor. And if you don't sing tenor, then you don't really have a shot at doing a whole lot, because there's very limited roles as far as Broadway musicians goes for baritone and bass. That doesn't mean that because you're baritone and bass, you can't also be a tenor, and vice versa. See, what I'm trying to do is get you guys to increase your range. So when you increase your range, not only can you sing tenor, you can also sing baritone and bass. And then you've got a whole bag of different music and different sounds and different things that you can sing from. So you guys see why that's an important thing, right? Right, of course you do. You guys are smart. I mean, why would I ever doubt you? Okay, moving on. You can also make yourself more in demand as a vocalist. I mean, like, going along with that point that I was talking about here, I know I'm going a lot of adding to, but that's because range isn't super complex. It's pretty darn elementary, but I never actually did a lesson on it, so I figure, well, now is the time. But yeah, because of this, you can make yourself more in demand as a vocalist, because what you can do with that particular thing is, like for me, I can sing from baritone all the way past tenor, and in my falsetto I can do a lot of alto and some soprano type stuff. Now that's good because I'm not necessarily going to go and sing girl stuff, but what's great, because when I've taught girls and women in the past, as far as my voice lessons have gone, I can sing the notes that they're trying to talk about, and it makes me look more in demand, because they're like, oh yeah, okay, I know which note you're talking about. And my voice teacher, when I was in high school, he did the very same thing. You know, he was able to sing really, really high falsetto, so he could explain to other students, whether it was a guy or whether it was a girl, what he was trying to shoot for and what he was trying to achieve. Now, this may not be applicable to you guys out there who just want to do this as a hobby or just want to do this as karaoke, but it's also kind of cool information to just kind of know about it more than anything else, because, again, this information is not really talked about in the classroom. It's just not. And the reason it's not is because it's not meant for people who don't do anything besides this as a hobby, but I don't care. I want to give this information to all and to everyone. Man, am I having a bad hair day or what? It's time for me to get a darn haircut. That's pretty awful. Okay, sorry. Moving on. yeah, I guess we'll get right into it. So yeah, that's it for range. There's not much more to it. If you guys have any more on that, go ahead and leave me a question in the comment section below, or any comments about this particular part of this lesson, because like I said, it's really elementary, so there's not a lot to it. You can expand upon lots of things that go on top of the range, like power has to do with range, tone definitely has to do with range, style, which is also kind of the same thing as tone, has to do with range. So yeah, and if you have a question about how any of those kind of correlate or work together, go ahead and leave me a question in the comment section below. Okay guys, so moving right on to, this is the question of the week. This is from Robeson Design, and Robeson Design, she just recently became a partner on YouTube. She's been a great help to me, actually. I've asked her for advice on how to promote my channel here, and she is just a wonderful, wonderful person. If you guys don't subscribe to her already, subscribe. Her box, or check her out right here. She is a very, very talented interior decorator, and her name's Rebecca. So go ahead, send her some love, and tell her that Dave Trevor sent you. Okay, guys? All right, so her question is this: any advice for aging vocal cords? LOL, did I just say that? I mean, how should I advise my mother? She's getting older. Great video, Dave. Well, great question, Rebecca. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And thanks again for all the help that you've been giving me and continue to give me here on YouTube. So you're awesome. Thank you. That's a great question, Rebecca, because, you know, I kind of am aiming towards younger viewers, you know, people from the age range of like, you know, 14 to like 28, 29, 30 years old. But that's a great question, because there's something I've been finding out as far as my studies go, as far as the vocal cords are, and it's this: vocal cords tend to diminish the less you use them, the older you get. So if you don't consistently keep using them, that doesn't mean you're forcing them, that doesn't mean you're going out and just blasting, you know, just like, ah! That's not the point. The point is that you're maintaining your voice just like you'd maintain anything else. I mean, it's the same thing like if you did a workout, you'd want to maintain that particular routine, or any sort of routine for that matter. Like if it's like doing chores, if you do 5 minutes here, great. You know, you got to consistently keep doing those 5 minutes, because by the end of the week, if you don't do it, now you've got an hour's worth of work. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing as far as the vocal cords go. Along with that, you have to take care of your vocal cords the older you get, even more so than you did when you were a kid, or when you were younger. So like the stuff that you could sing back in the past, you can't necessarily sing, you know, 30, 40 years down the road. Perfect example, I remember watching The Who on the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and it was awful. It was terrible. The reason it was terrible, though, is because those guys don't sing anymore. They haven't done touring in years and years and years, and you can tell that they haven't been practicing their voice for years and years and years, and it shows. So, you know, don't go out there and look like a jackass and, you know, get on stage and act like you're still a rocker and you haven't even maintained your voice. So the way to do that is just consistently keep up a routine, consistently to keep taking care of your voice. Don't push. If you can't hit the notes anymore, find different notes. An example of an artist who actually is pretty good about changing that up, believe it or not, of all people, is Ozzy Osbourne. That guy is still out there doing shows and stuff, and it's kind of crazy. And, you know, he can't hit all the same notes that he used to, but he knows how to change it, and he knows when he can't hit the same notes. He's not going to kid himself and be like, oh, I'm going to really force it and blow out my lungs, because he just knows better. So that would be my advice to you guys who are older listeners and viewers on that particular thing. Okay? Cool. So I want to talk real quick about, I'm going to actually create up a moderator here on this page, so it's going to be above here, and I'm going to ask for your guys' suggestions. What sort of content are you going to see in future videos? What do you guys like to see? I was going to talk more about game reviews in the future, but I'm trying to do stuff that's not going to make it so I don't have a chance of becoming a partner, and because of like copyright issues and this and that the other, I don't want to do anything stupid like that. So make sure you guys work with me on this, because I really need your help, and it would just mean a great deal to me. And yeah, and if it's something like, you know, get a haircut, I can do that too. Okay, next lesson we're going to be going into the high territory. We're going to talk all about falsetto, and we're going to talk about how only guys have it, what it is, and how it helps one shortcut with your singing, so to speak. So yeah, that's it. This is the lesson. If you guys like, comment and thumbs up, or go ahead and leave me a question in the comment section below. And remember to subscribe. You've got the big yellow button at the top, the big yellow button at the bottom, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.